Now, lashing straps or transport straps for motorbikes are not something I've ever really given much thought to. It's not something that I've ever really felt the need for. I've not transported that many bikes over the years, and when I have, it's usually a friend that's stepped in and I've used his straps. Now, there are various different types of strap. There's the cam straps, which I don't entirely trust, and there's the ratcheting straps, but even there are various different grades and qualities. And I remember when I picked the T100 up, I was using a mate's van, and he brought all the necessary straps with him. He does a lot of trials, competitions, and I think he's involved in motocross as well. But the straps that he had were for much lighter weight bikes. And although actually everything turned out fine, I do remember worrying quite a lot at the time whether those straps were up to the job of holding the T100 upright in the back of a van. Then just after Christmas I got the jack. Now, you know, I'll put my hand up to it, I am a novice at using a piece of equipment like this. And while researching it, I did read that the bike needs to be secured with straps, and I was also advised by a friend that the bike needs to be secured using some sort of strapping system. And it's obvious why, even with the bike a few inches off the ground, it's not 100% stable on a jack, and it does need securing in place. You often find yourself putting quite a lot of pressure on various parts of the bike while you're undoing fasteners, which can upset the balance. And as will be the case in due course with the T100, the front wheel and front forks are going to have to come off the bike, and I've got absolutely no doubt that the bike will take very little persuasion, if any, to fall backwards once that weight's been taken off the front. Now, I did order some straps from Amazon, and I have to say, you know, I've always thought a strap's a strap, but there are a myriad of different grades and strengths available. And when you're buying something like that off the likes of Amazon, it's impossible to tell what you're actually buying until it lands on the doorstep. Or, in this case, it didn't land on the doorstep. Now, whilst going through the throes of trying to claim through Amazon for non-delivery of this item, I decided to have a look to see if I could get some alternative straps, and I noticed that R&G Racing do a full bike transportation system. Now, I know from experience that R&G products are quality products. R&G Racing do specialise in race-based equipment, and this transportation system is designed for transporting race bikes, whether it be in the back of a van or on a trailer, to race meetings. And obviously it's important that a racing bike gets to its destination in one piece, otherwise you can't race. Now, I knew, being from R&G, that this transportation system would be of excellent quality. But what also intrigued me was the handlebar lashing system that can be bought with it. And it struck me that this would be a really good system, not just for use on the jack, but if I transport any bikes in the future. Now, these components of this system are all available separately, but as a complete system, what they actually sent me through was 2 packs, each containing 2 full ratchet straps, along with a separate pack that composed the handlebar lashing system. Now, this is designed to hook over the hand grips on the handlebars, and a little careful routing of it is required, but what it does is it pulls down over the top yoke, which provides a really safe place to secure the bike down with. Again, not just on the jack, but in the case of trailer or van transportation, it allows you to compress the forks to make sure it's good and tight and nothing's going to move around. Now, you need 2 of the lashing straps to work in conjunction with this handlebar strap, and of course the other 2 ratchet straps are to secure the back end of the bike. The ratchet straps themselves are composed of a really high quality webbing, which has a 600 kilogram braking strength. The ratchets themselves are a common design, but they are very heavy duty, and I found that they worked flawlessly. The problem with some of the cheaper ratchet straps is they can be a little bit tricky to operate. At either end of each set of ratchets, there is a large, very strong hook, which is coated with a sort of a soft feel nylon or plastic. It looks like it's been dipped. And this is obviously to protect paintwork and powder coating on your frame from scratching while your bike's in transit. Although I would say that you should also take some other precautions, such as using some soft rags or some sort of cushioning, and you shouldn't really rely on this plastic coating on the actual hooks. Now, the handlebar securing system in itself is quite an intriguing design. It's designed to pull the hand grip loop towards the centre of the bike and then downwards, so both of these straps work in opposing directions. This is obviously to ensure that it gets a really good tight firm grip, and there's absolutely no chance of these hand grip straps slipping off the bike in transit. Now, I suppose all bikes are going to be slightly different, and also the use that you're going to be putting these straps to are going to differ. But it just takes a little bit of forethought and planning to work out the best way to actually secure the bike down with these straps. Having said that, this is a very versatile little set, and off the top of my head I can't actually think of a situation where it wouldn't work. In the case of this particular jacket, I decided that the actual axles for the wheels were the most convenient tie down points to use with these hooks, figuring that if they're strong enough to hold the weight of the bike, then they're certainly strong enough to take the tension from these straps. At the rear, I simply hooked two of the straps together over the seat, and I use one of those gardening kneeling mats to protect the seat, because without something there I think there's a really good chance you would cause damage to your seat. Just take care to route the straps carefully to make sure that they're not going to put too much pressure on any plastic parts or anything like that when you tension them up, and there really is no need to over tighten them. They just need to be taut. You don't need to try and crush the bike. Now, once I'd fastened it all down in this manner, I found I could put a fair bit of weight on the back of the bike without unsettling it, and I could actually feel the resistance of the straps holding the bike in place at the front. Likewise, pulling the bike up from the back, trying to lift it, gave exactly the same result. The bike would barely budge, and I would be quite confident taking the front wheel off or removing the forks with this particular system in place in this manner. Now, unlike a lot of other manufacturers, R&G Racing haven't just thrown together a set of straps here and called it a motorcycle transportation system. There has obviously been a lot of thought and care that's gone into the design of this and assembling the right components to do this job safely, and just as importantly, to do this job without causing damage to your bike. One thing I did realise quite quickly while I was looking for a set of straps is that there is an awful lot of rubbish out there. The kind of stuff that might be okay for securing a light load on your roof rack, but I certainly wouldn't trust it to hold a motorcycle on a jack, a trailer, or in the back of the van, despite what the supplier's specifications claim. To my mind, if you're buying a product like this, you need to make sure that it is fit for the purpose, because if it isn't, the consequences could be very costly. This is a versatile system that is going to last you for years, and it's going to serve you well in any situation. I will leave a link for this product on R&G Racing's website if you want to have a look. Now, I hope you've enjoyed this video and that you found it useful, and I'd like to thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. As usual, I'm going to be back next Friday, so until then, ride carefully, and I'll see you soon.